All right. After a couple month break, welcome back. This is the 16th episode of 23 Real, 20 minutes of real talk with real producers in real estate, brought to you by Ohio Real Title and hosted by me, Rick Capretta. Today's guest has been a realtor for over 13 years. And in the past 2.5 years, he has sold over 100 homes. He's been a broker for 9 years, and he did that when he was just 29 years old. Prior to getting into real estate, he went to the University of Toledo, where he received his Bachelor of Arts as an English major. Which, if you speak with him, you'll understand he's quite eloquent. And he currently lives in Menor and works in Menor with his wife and his children. So I'd like to welcome to 23 Real Tim McMahon of PWG Real Estate. Tim, what's going on?
Rick, how are you?
Good. Two-month break, and I couldn't even read one word. Feel like a complete fool. Might as well just whatever. Anyways, so how are things going?
Good. You know, crazy times. We're doing the best we can.
So I was going to say, this has got to be, the craziest market you've seen.
Yeah. The world is crazy. The market is crazy. Everyone's crazy. I'll just hop right in.
Yeah, that's perfect. All right, good. Then with that, we're going to jump right into this thing. Here, let me do one of these little guys right there. And one of these right there. All right, cool. So, Tim and I have been working for about 3 years together. I remember meeting him at, I think it was maybe the coffee shop over there on 615. First time we chatted, right? And then after that, it was maybe about a year later where we really started working closely together. But, both sports nuts, as you could tell by the background. It looks like he's got a Cleveland Browns helmet back there. And but what I like about Tim most is he brings me the most unique real estate questions, scenarios, what ifs than I've been asked by almost anybody in the business. And it's great because I would have to say that Tim's really helped me grow and expand my knowledge base of the title and escrow business. And Tim, I'm sure you've learned quite a bit too.
Yeah. I'm always trying to peek around corners that may or may not be coming just in case.
Right. It's unbelievable. I've only been doing this for 4 years. You've been in it much longer, but there's something new every day. It doesn't matter how long you've been in this business.
Oh yeah.
So we're not going to get into any of those unique situations, but trust that they are there. So they're good. So anyway, so another thing that I love about Tim is that not only has he been a successful realtor, but he's also been a coach for a while here. So walk us through your coaching background and how you relate the experience of coaching to the experience of selling real estate.
Yeah. So I was fortunate to be able to start coaching back in my alma mater school district in Willoughby East. Like when I got out of college, I started in real estate right out of college. So I've never done anything else. What do you do with an English major? So
be a teacher, but you weren't a teacher.
Right. So coaching's great. So it's always, I like being around sports. And then as at some point in time, they tell you should stop playing sports or, you make the decision for yourself. So it is kind of the next best surrogate for that. But the great thing about coaching, like real estate, is that it's a people business. So I'm in the new school of coach everybody differently. And that's the same practice that I kind of apply to my business. I treat all my clients as individuals. Everybody's different. Everybody's got a different nuance, a different story, different things that they want. So I think there's been a really nice marriage there of those concepts. And then, building a program is, I built programs and built businesses almost simultaneously. It's really kind of the same thing. So the first most important thing is, if you are going to try and break into an area where other people around you are having tremendous success, if you don't plan to work harder than them, plan on not being very successful at it. So there is no substitute for that. It doesn't matter what your situation is, whether your timing was good, whether you got lucky. If you don't if you don't pound pavement, you're cooked.
Yeah.
And then with the coaching, it's just it's kids first, and with the real estate, it's clients first. So as long as you always put yourself last, and help these other people kind of get what they want, you'll be all right.
Yep, absolutely. What was your favorite sport to coach? Or which one are you looking forward to your next team? Which one would be the ideal situation?
Basketball is just an organic game. So when you're in it, you're in it. Like, the game flows. That's why it's one of the best sports to see live. I don't miss throwing batting practice.
Oh, come on.
I don't miss, but I miss sitting in the dugout and yelling at umpires while I'm eating seeds in my little uniform while my kids are up there.
Yep.
Love that part.
Yeah.
So, I went to a volunteer at the end when I started getting too busy, when I was up at North, and they still let me come up and eat seeds and yell at the umpires, which is great.
That's good. You got a good seat and you're able to eat the seeds. So that's good. Those are important things.
Yes.
Well, good. All right, cool. And yeah, I was going to say, I know that you work hard. I mean, that's for sure. I mean, like you said, we've spoken at random times throughout the day, the weekend, and I know you're always working for your people. And I try to get you answers right away, so that you can get right back to them and keep the ball moving. So
I appreciate you for it.
Yeah, no, it's a good relationship we've got here. So why don't you tell me what it's like working with a smaller firm and competing for listings against bigger name brands and teams in this market?
See, I think it's actually an opportunity and not a disadvantage. So for me, it's easier to stay true to like your personal core and your personal beliefs, because you are the brand. It's not something bigger than you. It is you. So for me, I use it to my advantage, and I tell my clients and my prospects and my customers and my friends and my family that this is I'm now part of the family. You are part of my family. I'm now a part of your family. I know when the birthdays are. Like, I know where you work. I know what time you guys get home. It's more of a life.
I know where you live.
It is. Because, having moved recently, I try and remind myself and even the agents and the people that I'm working with all of the time that even though it's super exciting, this is an extremely stressful proposition for clients and customers, even your friends and family. So until you've worried about, getting the GFIs replaced and what the moving company is going to be and dates and finding a house and what does this bank paperwork mean? And, it should be exciting, but it's not. It's just stressful. So for me, I try and create a relationship where I tell them I'm going to carry all of the water for you, not me and then this person and then that person. Me. So you wake up at 3 a.m. having a bad dream about our real estate transaction, call me. But that's my pitch. So I take tremendous amount of pride in the majority of my business coming on referrals. And I like that my business was organically grown in that sense. I'm fortunate to work where I grew up and have such kind of like a loyal following of friends and contacts and families. But that's the pitch. The pitch is you get me, not me and then somebody else. You get me all the time, whatever you need.
Yeah, I was gonna say Lake County especially is probably one of the most competitive from a team-centric type of a model. Obviously, right. It's got all the big name brokerages, but I mean, day in, day out, you must be going against really some of the bigger names that probably everybody knows in that county. And the fact that you're able to stand out and do what you did. You know what? I always forget if I've asked you this. What does PWG stand for?
The last company I worked for was called Paramount Wealth Group.
Oh, that's right. Okay, you did tell me that before, and I just could not remember that for the life of me. Figured it'd be a good time to ask right now.
I like to keep everything simple.
Yeah, exactly. Why recreate the wheel?
Right.
All right. Well, so like me, we spend a lot of time at our home office with kids, and I'm pretty sure you've got a dog. I know that dog's been all over me before, and I've got cats, and they drive me nuts. What's that?
I have a 15-year-old dog.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I remember that dog. So share with us some of the challenges as well as some of the positives and advantages of being able to work out of the house so often.
Yeah, so I think, given the current climate of a lot of people working remotely now, I think that salespeople kind of had a leg up and a kind of an early exposure to how much more efficient you can be with your time when you're multitasking, because you got to stay well-rounded. You got to spend time with the family. You got to give everything to everybody around you, the wife, the kids, take the dog for a walk. So,
oh yeah,
again, you got to spin it and make it a positive. You got to find a way to be as efficient as possible while you're trying to do it all at one time. But for me, honestly, and I'm sure you would agree with this, for some reason, it seems like the busier I get, the more I can get accomplished. And it seems like it should be the other way. But for some reason, when you're buzzing around nonstop, you're talking faster, you're thinking faster, you're networking faster, you're communicating, your context, just everything kind of goes that way. So in that sense, I think that, being here with the family helps. I think that handling the duress of small children, and an old dog helps keep things in perspective. And as as everybody knows, kids teach you infinite patience, which is something that can go a long way in this industry.
Either they teach you infinite patience or you never actually learn it. And it's just infinite frustration all the time, which now with a 13 and 10-year-old, I feel like whatever patience was maybe there, it comes and goes.
Right.
But I agree. Since I can't think of the term, once something's in motion, it seems to stay in motion. There's times where when I'm slammed, I don't know how it's going to get done. Everything gets done. But yeah, when everything slows down, there's nothing, then gosh, everything truly just stops. So
it does. Yeah. Just grab another cup of coffee, hack at it. You'll be fine.
Right. No, I agree. So, obviously you spend a lot of time out of the home office, regardless of COVID. Obviously COVID's now got us here semi-permanently.
Right.
Tell me a little bit more about some of the challenges you've had during the COVID-19 period. And again, has that changed anything? I know your wife is an educator, so I know she was probably home for that second half of the school year last year. How was it having everybody home when you would normally expect maybe just dad and the kids and the dog? How did that work out for you guys?
So I had exactly 1 year at home in between the twins and the baby, where the wife was at work and the dog was totally fine still. And it was weird. And then we got right back into it, another baby, and then obviously COVID. So having everybody here is crazy.
Yeah.
It's weird. Right now, my kids are doing online learning below me. My wife is doing online teaching to the side of me.
Okay.
The baby is sleeping above me. So, it is entirely unique in that I'm not sure, obviously, this is ever going to happen again.
Right.
God willing. But it's just different because you have to balance business priorities and clients' priorities and wants with family safety, family security. It's not black and white. It's extremely gray at all times. What you do professionally, what you do personally, who you see, where you go. It's hard. So you're constantly trying to, without burning the candle at both ends, do what's best for your business and do what's best for your family. And hopefully those things too, they align most of the time, but sometimes they don't.
Right.
So it's just, you got to be very good at prioritizing. You have to, you just have to know what's most important. And as long as you're open and honest with people, that still carries the day. Just tell your clients, listen, mask, even I know you don't want to wear a mask, but you got to wear a mask. It's the rules right now. I wear mine all the time. It's different. Everybody's different. Everybody has in your personal life, everybody has a different line. So some people's line is all the way over here. Some people's line is all the way over here, and everybody else is kind of in between. We're like, we see some friends, but we don't see other friends.
Right.
I miss my friends and their kids. We're seeing our folks and we're doing things outside, but, I want to see my friend. I keep joking that my friends' kids are going to be like 2 foot taller by the time I see them in person again. Right.
I say the same thing about my nephews. I mean, it's like,
I see my nieces in Chicago. This is crazy.
Yeah, even within families, the dynamics are different, but everyone's situation's different. Like I said, it's not like anyone wants to have this be the way it is. No. It's just people are either here or here, and it's hard for too many. You don't find too many all together on one end wanting to.
That's the thing, right? There's no right. it's such a huge spectrum, and the news changes every day. You just don't know. So you just put your family first, and you put your business first with them, and just do the best you can in this crazy world.
Yeah. And we're not going to talk about politics whatsoever, but of course, could you throw in one of the most dynamic or crazy
Right.
political periods on top of the craziest, the only pandemic thus far that we've really lived through where it's actually shut things down.
Yeah.
It doesn't get any weirder than this.
No. I had a client earlier this week. They're like, should we list it now or should we wait until like November, December? I go, what do you think?
Yeah, exactly. I know at home again. So your wife's at home, and obviously you're working right there in a room next to her. I know we've had some changes of roles within the house or expectations, even sometimes of, well, you've been home longer today. Why didn't you get dinner started? And that's usually like, Rick, why didn't you get dinner started? And I'm like, I don't know. You usually used to do that. So I feel like it's crazy. And it's almost something that if we went back, it would almost be like not a bad idea to have a conversation about managing family expectations. And again, and it's not like it's been bad, but you never see these things really coming until you're already about 2 miles into it. So It's been interesting. All right, let's see what else we've got cooking here. Have you had any interesting, you mentioned, people not wanting to wear masks right now. Have you had anything as far as real estate wise, with any of the clients that have come up? Have you had people who are still waiting to list that are waiting for this whole thing to be over? Did most of those people come through in the summer? Anything like that you could discuss?
No, I think most people are understanding the market is what it is. So, push the pandemic aside, the market's really good right now. So
fantastic.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So, sell your house, get your money, go to the bank, get yourself a good interest rate. I mean, it's a good scenario for everybody right now. We're extremely blessed in that respect. And I, try and remind myself and the people I'm working with that every day. But no, nothing crazy. I think most people are just trying to, if they can find a house, they'll grab it. But, if you want to sell your house, pretty good time.
Right. Well, I guess that'd be the other question is, have you had anybody who has wanted to sell, but has been looking at inventory and saying, I don't know if I could get into anything yet. So they've been hesitant to list. Have you had any of that?
That's segueing back to kind of most of my business being on referrals. I kind of tell people when they come to me for the first time, like, listen, here's the situation. So I'm in this all day, every day. Here's what it's going to take. So if your expectations are that we're going to get this for this or that, it's just not going to happen.
Right.
If you trust me, I can still get this done. So
right.
It'll come up. I'm going to be aggressive. I'm going to get it. Then we're going to sell your house. You're going to be extremely happy, but you just have to prep them.
Yeah. It's all expectations.
Yeah. Like this, you can't sugarcoat it. You got to tell your clients exactly how it is all the time.
Right. It might be a nasty ride, but we'll get through it.
not going to be fun.
Like you alluded to earlier, it's like every agent should have to buy and sell every 5 years just to go through it again, to remember what it's like and what their expectation was. So, because they everything changes in this industry so quick. All right. So we got 2 quick questions. You're prepped for one. You're not prepped for the other one. Look at your crystal ball right now. What do you think we're looking at next year with this market? Can it sustain itself? Do you think we're going to kind of flatten out a little bit, or what do you think?
So I honestly think that we're going to be able to sustain a level pretty close to where we're at. And I honestly feel like we're getting this push out of cities. I think I'm talking to friends in different industries across the board that some have gone remote for 2 years. Some are going remote permanently. And, I've even had clients that were like, we're not even moving back to New York. We're going to work in New York. We're going to make New York money and we're going to live in Solon. And I'm like, that's a great, just buy a house on Signature. Look at the house you could buy in New York.
Yeah, right.
Spend that money on a house at Signature in Solon. You're going to love it. And just log on to your laptop and you're cooking. And I think that The workplace has become more diversified. There's different types of households now. Households aren't the same traditional households that they were 30 years ago.
No.
So the way that just the economy itself has opened itself up to different kind of jobs, different kinds of employees, different household makeups. And then with the remote push, I think we're in a good place for quite a while.
Good. Yeah, I do too. All right. Well, great. Well, last question, and then we'll let you off the hook here. So what is the one thing that you'd like listeners to take away from our discussion today?
So the thing that my clients come to find out is that for me, it's all about having clients for life. So 1, 2, 3 times, if you buy a house at 25, I'm going to buy your last house at 65. I want to sell your aunt's house, your grandmother's house. I want somebody to feel, I always use that as the bar. I want to work so hard for somebody that they are comfortable referring their grandmother to me. You know what I mean? I want to know, where they're going to school. Are we in the same little league? Be active in the community, get them involved. You drive by their house and you see that they did something to the outside, shoot them a message. Absolutely love it. When's the cookout? But yeah, just
2023.
Yeah, right. Just stay totally in tune with your clients well after the transaction's done, because for me and for my business model, they are part of my business. They're my ambassadors out there telling everybody, because it's not always going to be about real estate. Sometimes it might be about flooring. Sometimes it might be about Little League baseball. Who knows what it might be about. But you got to stay in touch with everybody at all times. And no matter what they need, even non-real estate related, help people all the way through, and they'll always pay you back tenfold.
All right, folks, you heard it right there. I believe it because I've seen his business grow and I know how he works and he does a great job. So, Tim, thank you very much for coming on the show.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Absolutely. All right. Look forward to Tim having a successful 2021 here and a good finish out to this year. So, all right. Thanks, Tim. And this has been it for 23 Real.
Thanks, Rick.
All right. Good night.